In this segment of Boars and Hunters, we will show you hunter's best friend. In Bulgaria, there is a breed of dogs that has always accompanied the hunting activity of the human. Even before the 21st century here, the Illyrians and later on the Celts and even the ancient Greeks left us written evidence about the indisputable merits of their four-legged hunting partners that are nowadays called by us Bulgarian tricolor beagle. Hounds are a large group of hunting dogs used for hunting all types of hairy game along the trail it leaves. They work while finding the trail of the game and hunt it down until finding it. After finding the game, the various types of beagles behave in a different way that is predefined by the inbuilt characteristics of the beagle, as well as by the wish of the hunter that trains them. Some beagles bark at the game from a distance, others attack it straightforwardly in order to keep it at one place or scare it away from its den. Here in this camp, for the purposes of training tricolored beagles to perform driven hunts, the cohabitation of the small puppies with a hind youngster makes the puppies get accustomed to the deer presence, and after they grow up and start following the trails, they never run after roe deer and red deer. We are about to give out a secret about the special training of the frenetic four-legged hunters. In addition to their early cohabitation with the doe, they have another roommate to meet at their maiden battle, and the real job of following and stopping wild boars is the way it is done in a real environment. We would like to present you the wild, domesticated boar gauche. It was found by the people when it was a squeaker, and it was sheltered by them, turning into an irreplaceable trainer of the national team of fighting technique for the dog and wild boar encounters. Gauchko grew up and matured throughout the years, but it is as friendly towards its master as always and even eats from his hand. It has a company, a recently found and cured sow. Gauchko is not among the calmest domesticated animals. He managed taking down some of the wooden paneling of the ceiling, thus creating the chaos inside the house all boars adore. The glutton young sow even tried whether the fingers of our video operator are edible. Food is the main connection that befriends wild animals with their master. Eating from his hand and the direct contact with him creates the habits and the necessary loyalty so that the dog trainings do not get out of control. Thanks to their inbuilt wild instincts, the boars help in training the tricolor beagles. They leave a real trail along which the dogs could be trained in following it. It is easy when you know the timing of the trail to explain your dog whether it is worth following it or it should better find a new one. In the case of direct contact, when the wild boar meets the dog in real conditions, the dog stands the risk of 50-50 to be disemboweled at its first driven hunt. In this case, the chance of being fatally hurt is minimum because the hunting down and the tete-a-tete meeting with the enemy is performed in a controlled environment under the strict monitoring of the trainer that is ready to intervene anytime. As far as Gauchko is concerned, everything seems to be a great game for him that he accepts with pleasure. This is the boar survivor after the greatest number of encounters with hunting dogs, and one day this will be entered in the Guinness Record Book. And now let us continue our driven hunt from where we interrupted it. The driven hunt in the morning that we saw in the beginning of the episode was dynamic and full of action, but there is still enough time for another drive before noon, and the hunters are fast to get seated at their places. This would be one of the last driven hunts for this season, and Svetomir, the director of the hunting preserve, decides to take part in the hunt. One more good shooter is never in excess when it comes to driven hunt in an open area, where the wild boars are uncatchable and the efforts of the drivers and their dogs could be in vain if there are not enough hunters to close the escape ways of the boar. His position is strategic. He will have to keep the wild boars in the lowland so that they do not run away from the driven hunt. Meanwhile, the other hunters make a long detour in order to pass by the hill from the other side and to close the ring. The lowland between the two hills is overgrown with blackberry shrubs that are the favorite shelter of wild boars. Hunters are moving in a string one by one along the beaten path, and yet at some places the shrubs catch someone's trousers or the ties of the hunting shoes with their sharp thorns that resemble anglers' hooks. We pass by the thick blackberry bushes without even feeling a whole sounder of wild boars hidden there. They do not make a move or a sound. Only their sharp smell gives them away, but we think this is due to the residual effect of their dens amid the blackberries. The operator checks one of the tunnels dug in the rosehip bushes without realizing how near he is. He is really lucky that the boars located at just 50 centimeters behind his back do not decide to run away through him. Finally, the hunters are located at their posts, and the driven hunt could begin. Time passes by very slowly for the hunters since dogs barking do not approach them fast enough. It seems the thick bushes are a hindrance not only for the people, but also for the dogs, and the driven hunt approaches very slowly. The first firing is produced and everyone is alert. A sow tried her luck twice and tested the sharp eye of Setso that saw her go away through the optics of his gun. This time it is not the sow, but a huge tusker. The tusker takes up the firing without feeling them. Soon the experienced hunter that is confident in his precise shooting finds out the dead animal. The boar did not make even 100 meters down the slope of the hill. Setso explained the driver what is the exact situation and the wild boar's movement through his ambush. The information is important in view of the tactical location of the future driven hunts in the same locality.